Hey guys, what is going on? Matt here from Sales Sniper, and today's little video, I think it's maybe one of the first videos I'm doing specifically for YouTube. So there you go. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm sure they'll be disgusting and heinous, but that's all good. I have pretty thick skin. But yeah, so today what I wanted to talk about is some objection handling stuff. Everyone always asks me about objection handling, and I want to go specifically into partner and the cycles and loops that I use in order to ensure that my objection handling is on point and that I put myself in the best possible position to be able to pre-handle objections, because the best cure is prevention. Okay. And so with that, there's a sort of a step-by-step process that I do, right? So step one, whenever you're going to be handling objections, or whether you're doing a sales call, whether you start to get an objection, is to first of all identify the objection. It's extremely important. If you don't sort of chunk down, and if you take what they say first and foremost as like gospel, then it's not going to work out well, because you need to be able to like take that first layer, take the cream off it, and then kind of get to the gooey center where you can really kind of figure out what's going on. Okay. Step two, once you've labeled it, is to, I guess, sort of reaffirm the want or the need to actually do the program. Right. So, once I've sort of got it down, like for example, a partner objection is just a money objection. They just don't want to spend the money without the permission of their partner. Right. So that's one thing. So if we can really kind of understand and define the objection, think about it. What do you want to think about it? A money objection. Okay. Is it a price or a value thing? There are a lot of things there, right? So once you do that, then we go, okay, so if you did have the funding available, would this be the answer for you? And then I get them to reaffirm, right? And then I ask them why. It's very important that when somebody has a really good idea, you ask them why, because that makes them dig in, and it makes them really, really kind of emotionally anchor themselves to that idea. Right? So someone's got a bad idea, you try and unravel it. Now, you don't do it with your words, you do it with questions. You let them do it with their own words. And if someone's got a good idea, you ask them questions and you ask them details about it and get them to explain to you in detail. I'm sorry, Mary, like, can you just explain that to me, please? Right? So then it tightens up in their fist, right? And when someone's been doing that, for 30, 40, 50 minutes, then contradicting themselves at the end is a difficult one for them to wrap their heads around. So usually they just end up moving forward, right? And so that's step number two, is sort of, really, once you've defined it, is really make them reaffirm why they want to do the program and really go into detail. And the third thing is let them know that it's okay to have an objection. It's totally normal. It's not a big deal. And then go through some sort of loops that you have. Now, everyone's a little bit different. There are lots of different strategies for objection handling. The way that I do it is more of that sort of NEPQ, very neutral. Okay, so like if you did have the funds available, would this be the answer for you? Okay, and so from what you told me, I can understand that money might be an issue. But what are some ways that we think that we can overcome that so that you can, do the training and get the skills so you can do X, Y, Z? Like what are some ways that we can figure that out? And so what I've done is I've taken it from an objection, reaffirmed their want to do it, identified exactly what it is, turn that objection into a problem, and then as a team, we're going to overcome the problem. And that's what objection handling is when you're never going to get ghosted. Now, it's very different to how I was taught how to do sales, which is very like smash them with mindset, like, which is a contrast and compare method, where it's like, well, you said this, but now you're saying this. Like, how do you justify those two positions, right? And you can logic trap people. Logic trap, for those who don't know, is when you sort of ask a series of questions that the answers lead them to only having one outcome. Right? And those are like legitimate ways of doing things. I don't think they're the best way. They're probably the easiest way, right? So if you're newer to sales, logic traps and compare and contrast are an easier method than doing the way that I do it. But my way is far more nuanced and takes a lot more skill. But like, just kind of work your way up the chain, and do the style of sales that's best for you at the level where you're at, and just be real with yourself. Like, I'm by no means the worldwide expert, but that's the way that I do it, and it's because I've kind of graduated through the ranks, as it were. But that's kind of like how I deal with objections. You know, even Jordan Belfort's stuff, his straight line persuasion, the looping that he does is really great. There's some great examples on YouTube. Just look up Jordan Belfort looping. But yeah, guys, like, that's the structure of how I handle objections. And really the two main objections that I want to really have are money and partner. Okay, think about it is like, you just really haven't done your job right, or they have some sort of mindset issue, and there are some lines and stuff that you can do, which I might do in a different video, on like how to sort of reframe somebody out of a think about it objection. But in reality, the whole core should be designed to get rid of think about it and create urgency. So those are my things. That's how I handle objection. Those are the steps that I take people through. Let me know if you guys enjoy this content. Like, subscribe, all down below. I'm going to be doing a lot more stuff on YouTube. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Please feel free to hit me up. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Goodbye.